Bună ziua! Bine ați venit la lecția 23 de limba engleză pentru Dreams Come True și de asemenea pentru B2. Mai întâi vreau să lucrăm câteva exerciții. Am să vă rog să faceți captură de ecran, da? Acestei pagini. Se vede bine? Și acestor două pagini. Pentru că dumneavoastră sunteți deja avansați și vom lucra un piculeț mai mult astăzi, ținând cont de faptul că în ultima vreme nu ne-am văzut. Este timpul să lucrăm. 2 zile v-am lăsat liber, n-am postat, pentru că am avut de postat pentru clase. Așa că use of English, multiple choice, close part 1. Vom lucra mai întâi exercițiul 2. First, we shall work this exercise. Please be attentive at it. Okay? It's an exercise of vocabulary. Underline the correct word in each of the sentences. Be attentive, please. Number 1. She never talks about her success. She is so modest. Number 2. I like his direct honesty, but some people find him too frank. Number 3. She'll never change her mind no matter what you say. Persistent. Number 4. He won't go out with just anyone. He is discerning. Number 5. I like him because he doesn't judge people. He is open-minded. Number 6. He refuses to change his ideas and he can't see that he's being unreasonable. He is very narrow-minded. Now, let's do this exercise. We have to complete the gaps choosing from these 4 possibilities. The truth about love. This weekend we celebrated Valentine's Day, or those of us who are incurable romantics did. The 14th of February gives everyone who's anyone a chance to show up what they have learned to their fellow sufferers about the essence of that universal problem, love. Francis Fernworth, the TV presenter, is a case in detail. Yes, is a case in detail. He's a very gentle host, and I'm sure he has a heart of gold, but he talks stack of rubbish sometimes. Last night he hosted a TV chat show called What is Love? And it was no exception. He started off badly by having a difference of opinion with the author Tania Monte. Mrs. Monte always expressed extraordinary views without any apparent fear of contradiction. Last night she was setting up her rules for a perfect relation when Farnworth accidentally called her Tina. Tina is the name of her ex-husband's girlfriend, and any mention of him or her is like a red rag to a bull to Tanya. Farnworth apologized and said that it had been a slip of tongue brought in by a momentary gap of concentration, but it took the diplomatic skills of the other guests to calm our Tanya down again. But it was only a matter of time before he upset her again by referring to her boyfriend Nick. She had been vehemently denying that there was even a grain of truth in the rumors about her engagement to football star Nick Perez. Love is never simple, even for the experts. Now, my dear students, I propose to read this text together to understand it, and after to do exercises referring to the text, to the reading test. Okay, why do you fall in love? Everyone does it one time or another, but why? We are talking about falling in love. Professor Arthur Aaron from State University of New York at Stony Brook has been exploring the dynamics of what exactly happens when two people are falling in love. He claims that our primary motivation as human beings is to expand the self and to increase our abilities and our effectiveness. One of the ways we accomplish this is through our relationships with other people. He says, we have learned in our research that it is important to feel that you have the ability to be an effective person, especially in relationships. But how does this theory of self-expansion explain the process of falling in love? Usually, we fall in love with a person who we not only find attractive and appropriate for us, but is also someone who demonstrates that they are attracted to us. According to Professor Aaron, this creates a situation with great scope for self-expansion. The fact that they are attracted to us offers a significant opportunity when we perceive this. We feel a surge of exhilaration. However, his studies show that it does not always work this way. An interesting exception to this occurs if we feel badly about ourselves. The process gets thrown off if we can't believe that other person is interested in us, like the Groucho Marx joke, where we don't want to belong to a club that would have us for a member. We tend to miss out on opportunities for falling in love if we don't feel good about ourselves. Professor Aaron has also managed to define the conditions which are best for meeting someone and falling in love. He claims that when we meet someone under conditions that are highly arousing, a political demonstration, turbulence on a plane, a stimulating performance, a time when the body is stirred up and excited, we tend to experience attraction at a high 10 level. This effect is well documented. This effect is well documented. Okay. It's about my battery. I am sorry. Just a moment, please. I fixed the battery. Okay. But the explanation for it are very controversial. Professor Aaron believes that we come to associate the arousal of the situation with this person and our own self-expansion. It's also interesting to look at when people fall in love. How long do you have to know this someone before you realize you are in love with them? Contrary to what most people think, the statistics show that most people fall in love with someone that they have known for a while. People only report falling in love quickly about 30 to 40% of the time, says Professor Aaron. He also points out that this varies from culture to culture. Falling in love happens differently between cultures, but it does occur in most cultures. I'm looking at the battery. Sorry. I think most of us think that our appearance must factor into the equation of love, of falling in love. Professor Aaron says, this is interesting. We have found that if we are unattractive, very unattractive, it can hurt you a lot in forming romantic relationships. However, being attractive doesn't help that much. The professor has found that two important characteristics, kindness and intelligence, are vital to the process of falling in love. And attractiveness is not connected to these things. These two attributes are things that people learn about someone from knowing them over time. Intelligence is critical in all aspects of life, especially in love. But kindness is the strongest indicator for successful long-term relationship. Other research confirms what we all know, that love can make you mad or sad. Some people suffer from a form of obsessive compulsive disorder when they are in love, which means that they are, for example, constantly checking things. At the same time, this disorder can also make you depressed as it affects serotonin levels in the brain. Levels can drop so low that they trigger anxiety and depression. But it doesn't last forever. After a year, levels usually return to normal. It may be that we need this chemical response for relationships to survive, as some have suggested that you have to be mad to fall in love. Wow. Now let's do exercise 2. This one, it is also about vocabulary. Exercise 2, this one. Be attentive to find the best answers, please. I don't know what's happening to my battery. In the first paragraph, we learned that Professor Aaron has been researching the forces behind human relationships. Professor Aaron's theory explains that we fall in love when we find somebody who shows that they like us. The Groucho Marx joke is mentioned in the 4th paragraph to show how people think when they lack self-esteem. According to Professor Aaron, people easily fall in love when they are frightened and need protection. In the 6th paragraph, what does Professor Aaron say is a mistaken belief? That people fall in love with old friends. Professor Aaron claims that being attractive is less of an advantage than other qualities. Other research into the chemical response to love shows that love can cause unnecessary suffering and illness. Thank you very much for your participation to this course. Let me a like if you consider useful this lesson, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye for now. See you later.